yeah, so it's helpful to, depersonalize thought. And you'll notice that one thing during the meditations is I never actually say, notice your thoughts, because even that in itself is a misidentification. They're not yours. And actually, by doing that, it just depersonalizes. So they become so much less serious. They're just thought. It's just thought arising and passing away. Who you are is awareness. That's your true self. So, a really great practice is just try it for a couple of weeks, is to not take your thoughts so seriously. And notice how the mind is like, I've had this before when I do this little exercises. No, but this is serious. And that's another thought, right? So, and then it's like, no, this is really like, this is serious. And then I'm like, that's also a thought. So it's funny how eventually the weight begins to slowly loosen its grip, because you realize it's just thought and it's not personal. So even, another exercise is just to smile at the mind, to smile at your thoughts, and just to almost observe them with fascination. It's like, wow, what a fascinating thought to have. X, Y, or Z, Billy or John, they shouldn't have done that. And then it's like, wow, that's a fascinating thought to have. Who made me in charge of what people should and shouldn't do? So that's a really helpful technique, just to distance, create that space between the true self and our thoughts. So yeah, that exercise, like I said, is a helpful one. It's also helpful just after meditation to do. Just asking the mind, just saying, I wonder what my next thought will be. So today, a few, intentions come to me, because it's a Sunday and it's the weekend. So, a few nice intentions is just to remember that you are free. You are free. You are playful. And there are no limits. The only limits that exist are in the mind. You are a limitless being having a human experience. There are absolutely no limits. So seeing if you can live from that space today, because that's who you are, that's your true essence, is limitlessness. And that might feel unfamiliar to you, but we're not taught this stuff, so how are we supposed to know? But that's who you truly are. And, a lot of our conditioning is something I talk about quite a lot, but we inherit like a lot of stuff. We inherit beliefs, we inherit thoughts, we inherit behaviors from society, from parents growing up, from school teachers, from we just inherit these things from different areas of our life, even just society in general. Like in Ireland, the church would be a huge one. We inherit beliefs, thoughts from even just being in a church. And this is part of conditioning. It's like, what's true to me versus what's just this kind of society way of living, this kind of normalized way of living. And for many people who do this work, they don't realize they're a limitless being. They don't realize that who they are is free. You are free. And you also have permission to be playful and funny. And, you know, it gets to a stage in life where we start identifying as an adult, which is like funny thing. So it's just like, when, like, why do we start identifying with that? And that's getting younger and younger for people now, where they think they're an adult when they're 15 for some reason. I think it's time we should start being children again and living. And what I mean by that is we can still be responsible, but living with those qualities of playfulness, spontaneity, joy. You know, I said it in the last course I did, where Mike was on with his daughter Fia, and you can just see the light in her eyes. She's just walking around the house, but she's in the world of complete infinite possibility. Like, anything is a possibility. Opening and closing a wardrobe, she can turn that into fun. She can jump up and down on the spot. She can, you know, and this is the essence of being a child. It's just this aliveness, this joy of being, But, you know, we're conditioned from a very young age to take life very seriously, to, you know, life is a problem to be fixed. You know, there's all this stuff wrong and we've got to fix it. And life can just turn into this problem. And then it turns into a game of fixing. And that's not to say we don't encounter challenges in our lives, but we can even encounter challenges as problems or possibilities. They can be opportunities for growth. They can bring new possibilities for us, or we can resist them and treat them as a problem. And I'm sure most of you will know, whenever you've gone through a period of suffering, a period of challenge, that's when we awaken to our true essence. You know, it's like diamonds are created under the most amount of pressure, and a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. So just remembering that even if you're going through challenge, if you're going through whatever it might be, this is the catalyst, you know, to us awakening to who we truly are. It's not life victimizing you, or it's life facilitating your evolution in some way. Sometimes we don't always know how, but that's where it just is embracing your current experience as it is. You know, we speak a lot about joy and peace and freedom. You know, they're the qualities that I mentioned during meditation, but you guys will know from me, I'm very real in the sense of, I know that's not how life is all the time. And I'm not saying, even on a Sunday, that you should feel joyful and you should feel anything. And actually, if the dimension of peace comes into your life when you just embrace whatever your current experience is. So if you're feeling anxious on a Sunday, that's okay. That's okay. Embrace it. If you're feeling like you've a to-do list of 10 things and that's bringing some stress into your physiology, that's okay. Embrace that too. Whatever your current, if you're feeling angry about what someone said yesterday to you, that's okay. Embrace that. And just embrace whatever your current experience is. And that's how peace comes into your life. Not through trying to be peaceful, but through embracing whatever is present for you. Okay, and then the second part of today is, this is something you guys will know I talk about quite a bit, but it ties into our conditioning, because our collective conditioning gives us an idea of what success is. And success is really just a mental concept. And for many people, there's two parts to success. Firstly, success is something to always be attained. It's never now, right? It's always something in the future. So if success is always in the future, that means that you're unsuccessful. And you're saying, like, if my success isn't now and in the future, that means who I am must be unsuccessful. And then you might achieve something, you know, and feel successful for a minute, get a little bit of gratification, the ego feels good about itself. And then it goes back to, well, what's next? You know, I want more, I've got to achieve more, I've got to do more, I've got to be more. Instead of realizing, you know, this is an alternative approach to habits, to realize that who you are is success by virtue of your existence. And it's not in a doing. You don't have to do anything. You don't look at a baby and think they should be doing stuff. You just appreciate the gift that it is that that baby is there and alive. They don't need to add anything. They don't need more. They don't need a job. They don't need to make loads of money or be successful externally. Just who they are is like beauty, joy. And really, when we see a baby in this way, what they're mirroring back is those qualities within us. And those qualities are innate, they're intrinsic. So, yeah, who you are is success. I mean, it's a complete miracle that any of us are alive. It's a miracle just to be here, to be sharing this space with people. And, you know, like I said, on success, it's really just a conditioned idea, right? And it's generally conditioned, it's generally an idea of what our life looks like externally. So it's like how my life looks dictates whether or not I'm a success. And that might include how much money I have, how much income, what job I have, where I went to university, qualifications, where I live, the size of my house, the size of my car, whether I am married or not, whether or not I have kids. So all these external things, right? Which are cool. Like I absolutely love all these things. And it's amazing to play in the dance of life, the dance of the external world. But what's more important than what you have and what you do is who you are. And the essence of who you are: kindness, compassion, love, joy, peace. I'm sure all of you know one person in your life who has no riches externally, but is rich inside in terms of who they are. And they don't need to add anything. You can just be with them. Maybe you don't know some, maybe you do. You can just be with them and feel that essence of maybe peace or abundance, or I don't know how to describe it really, but they don't need the material riches because they're rich in their essence. And we all are rich in our essence. Um, so yeah, that's success. And you know, that goes along with this is where success comes in. So we create this idea of what the successful life looks like. And then we have reality, which is the way life is now. And then we have the way it should be. And the should be is the success. So I should have achieved more. I should have more money. I should be somewhere else. My life should be different. And this is where the disease takes place. Because there's just a complete non-acceptance of the way life is now. So it's this realizing that who you are is a diamond. And when you realize that, the wanting and the needing more dissipates. Because who you are is overflowing. You're full. Your cup is full already. You don't need something externally to fill that cup for you. And this is the kind of the thing that's ironic in some ways, is the success that we're taught is success, that this external success, which is just, like I said, a mental concept, actually is in conflict sometimes with what we truly value in life, which is our family, our friends, our health. And sometimes these, like the relationships that we have and our health, can be compromised because we're so busy trying to be successful that we forget what's actually truly important to us in our essence. If I'm so busy trying to be successful, I haven't time for things like that. And it's like, what are we really searching for? Like, what do we think is going to happen that day that we get these perfect circumstances and we're successful? Like, what happens? Does it mean that we'll finally be accepted for who we are? Like, what are we waiting for? What do we think is going to happen? So it's less about trying to prove to the world that you're successful and trying to gain acceptance from others, and accepting yourself, even loving yourself as you are. And that's true success.